What is good, y'all? This is Elijah Boy. And welcome to the Money in the Bank 2025 review. Oh boy. Okay. Um, as you're watching this, it is Sunday. Um, no Elijah Boy report this week. The show's taking a brief break. But I did want to give y'all the Money in the Bank review. Also, if you have not heard or for whatever reason, please follow at Taylor Tunes Official. It is my second channel. It's where I do animations for like WWE skits, and I have more other kinds of skits on the pipeline. Also, a pilot for a possible series I'm doing called The Adventures of Travis and Lola, which premieres Friday, June 13th. Um, so if you're into cartoons, please feel free to subscribe. And there's already series on there, the Agent Davis series, first two seasons, a couple other stuff, Grandpa album, WWE promos, skits, and everything like that. So if you're into that, go check it out. So now that the shameless plugging is over, let's get to this review. Overall, I guess the show is good. I'm not gonna lie, there was a moment in this show where it kind of killed the mood for me. But we'll get to that. The first match, the women's Money in the Bank contract: Naomi versus Alexa Bliss versus Rhea Ripley versus Stephanie Vaquer versus Julia versus Roxanne Perez. Initially, before this, my prediction was that Roxanne was going to win at some point. Alexa Bliss was kind of my second guess, but we're going to start. The match started out pretty much how most ladder matches start. A lot of teasing of how the new generation versus the old guard, if you will, the top stars now versus the top stars at present. Perez and Julia, they had a sort of a alliance going on at first. They had an awkward moment where they were supposed to double team Rhea Ripley. Pause on that. Double team Rhea Ripley with the ladder, but it didn't go quite as planned, and it kind of slowed things down, and it looked a little awkward. Like they were trying to, like Perez was trying to slam the ladder down, but it wouldn't bend, and it was hilarious. It looked really bad, and it was very awkward, but whatever. I will say this: Stephanie Vaquer was definitely the MVP of this match. The fact that she worked so many matches, like hardcore. Julia put her in like this submission hold, and Vaquer. I'm gonna say Vaquer. She literally climbed the ladder with Julia having her in a submission hold, which was just insane. Then Rhea hits a razor edge and literally lawn darts Perez into Naomi, which was very cool. Vaquer hits Devil's Kiss on Rhea Ripley on the ladder, bro. It was like out of nowhere. Very well timed, very cool. Bliz and Perez hit a double simultaneous code red, or as Perez calls it for herself, pop rocks. They hit the code red on the ladders, which was great. But while everyone was down, Naomi picked up the win. And it's crazy. It surprised me to see Naomi win that. So, and no woman has ever failed their cash in yet. So I'm very curious to see who Naomi could potentially beat if she does. She might be poised to win a women's championship. So props to Naomi. I always felt like she was very underappreciated and very underrated, and I am very happy that she got her just dues. The second match, this was a last minute match added during their Worlds Collide YouTube show, which I did not watch. I didn't really have time. The Octagon. Are y'all ready to get into the Octagon? No, I'm kidding. That's the wrestler's name. Octagon versus Dirty Dominic Mysterio for the men's Intercontinental Championship. It was a pretty standard match, very impressive. Octagon impressed me. But Dirty Dom was able to pick up the win. Then the next match was Lyra Valkyria defending the women's Intercontinental Championship match. We get two in a row here. Versus Becky Lynch. This is their third match. I'm not going to lie. I did go into this match expecting Becky to win because I figured how many times is championship matches where somebody's had three opportunities and the third opportunity they usually pull it out. During the match, the fans chanted, "We want truth." Which, like, ugh. If I'm a wrestler, I would feel some type of way. Like, really, you're gonna talk about a whole nother brother like I ain't here? Okay. Pretty good match overall for me. Uh, Becky hit the Superman handle slam from like the top rope, and Lyra kicked out. And then fast forward to the end of the match, Becky won with a roll up, and she pulled Lyra's tights, and Lyra was forced to raise her hand. She did it once, and then Becky kept asking her to do it on all sides, and then asked her to wrap the title around her waist, which I was like, that's not part of the agreement, but whatever. And I was like, if I'm Lyra, I'd have dropped her right there. And Lyra ended up dropping her, so that was pretty great. She had her head held high. Um, but Becky Lynch is the new Women's Intercontinental Champion. Next match, the men's Money in the Bank. Before I get to this, it's kind of crazy that now the Money in the Bank, instead of people going for the world title, they could go for like a mid-card title, which I wouldn't do. Like, are you kidding me? I'm going for the world title. So it was kind of weird later on when they asked Becky, "Are you afraid of whom he's going to cash in?" She better not waste that Money in the Bank briefcase on an IC title. I'm going for the world title. I don't care. Anyway, moving on. The men's Money in the Bank match. Yeah, get ready for a rant, but we're going to talk about what happened in the match. It was Penta versus LA Knight versus Andrade versus El Grande Americana Gable. Seth Rollins versus Solo Sikoa. So the match starts with everyone attacking Seth Rollins immediately, which makes a lot of sense, considering Seth and his gang have been beating up everyone else, and he beat them up on SmackDown previously on the previous night. Pretty standard ladder match. You know, they had the crazy spots. You know, Penta hit some pretty interesting moves as well. But we're going to fast forward to the end of the match where Seth called out Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, "Get out of here, get out of here." And this is when I started to roll my eyes a bit. After Big Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker basically took out all of Seth's competition, JC, Mateo, and Jacob Fatu came out to a loud reaction from the crowd. They basically initially helped Solo. JC gets taken out by Braun Breaker, who spears him through a barricade, and Bronson Reed went for, I guess, a clothesline, but Jacob Fatu was somehow able to pick him up and hit a Samoan drop, which was pretty impressive strength. And then he hit like I guess, I don't know if he hit like was it a moonsault or did he, I think he dived on him too. It was hard to write this down because I was so hyped the whole time. So anyway, I think first he hit the Samoan thing, the Samoan drop, then the moonsault, and then he hit like a dive that sent Bronson Reed over the table. And then Jacob Fatu helped up Solo, and he told Solo, I love you, right, and all that stuff. And then Solo gives him a big hug, and, you know, they milked it a little bit, obviously. Jacob Fatu starts scaling, or excuse me, Solo Sikoa scales a ladder, and then before Solo could even do anything, Jacob grabs him by the back of his heel, and he said, "Solo, I hate you," right? And I was like, whoa, that caught me off guard, and it certainly caught Solo off guard, so he dropped Solo, and it was insanity at that point. And after all of that, Fatu left. So then Rollins goes for it, and then LA Knight gets up as well. Ooh, LA Knight was climbing the ladder. Rollins got in the way, and then LA Knight went for a BFT, and Rollins countered and hit a curb stomp on LA Knight. At this point, I'm fuming. And Rollins slowly climbs the ladder. I have expected CM Punk to come out and ruin Rollins' night, but for some reason that didn't happen. I guess Punk was chilling at his house, watching, probably catching up on The Last of Us on HBO Max or something. I don't know what was going on. Rollins climbs the ladder and he won the match. Okay, so if you're on this channel, if you've been watching me for a while, you all know how critical I am of AEW's product as a whole. Y'all remember how mad I was when Hangman Adam Page defeated Will Ospreay, who I thought made more sense, who I thought was more worthy of the opportunity at All In. And many people feel like I give WWE more leeway for when they do stuff, and today's the day where that leeway is over. LA Knight has been this close to winning Money in the Bank for what I'm told, the third year in a row, where he literally was the one who's being cheered the most. He literally would be the last person up there, and right when he's about to get the briefcase, some BS happens. So it blows my mind when I get it. Sometimes you have to make sense of things. You have to use logic. Even if someone's popular, sometimes it's not their time. But I just find it very, very odd that LA Knight continues to lose when it counts. And it's like, after all these years of grinding, and he's one of the most over guys on the roster, why does it seem like WWE's scared to pull the trigger on this guy? Like, what is going on here? Like, how much do we have to cheer to get LA Knight in a spot? We literally had to cheer him into the main event against Roman Reigns those years ago, and he clearly showed he could hang with the top guys if you actually let him hang with the top guys. And they gave us a U.S. title win, which was great, but he's no longer the U.S. champ, so I thought maybe it was going to lead to something more. And it was in his hometown nonetheless, and we all know the hometown curse in WWE keeps apparently happening. And I still don't see what LA Knight has done to deserve this. I mean, Rollins is already powerful enough with his group as a whole, so why does he need another win? Because he's already held the briefcase before. LA Knight could have been another main eventer for them, and they just seem to be gung-ho on not giving him nothing. LA Knight is literally... they starting to make me lose hope now. There was a video I did years ago where I said LA Knight would be okay. Now I'm starting to worry that he may not be. Because this is just overkill at this point. Because you can only beat down somebody so bad before it gets old. Like, I'm a huge fan of the show The Boys on Amazon. Very great show. But it started, for me anyway, to get a little bit repetitive. Because you can only see a good guy get beaten down so much to the point where it's like, okay, at some point this has got to stop. And WWE, you got to stop. LA Knight has earned enough goodwill, I think, at this point to finally get this. This man can survive any era of wrestling, bro. And I don't get what the issue is. It's like, what did he do to deserve this for the third time in a row, bro? Like, it got to the point where I almost wanted to just cut the show off and just go on about my night. But I didn't do that because I had a responsibility to the E Squad that is watching this video right now. I just don't know where LA Knight goes from here. I'm starting to get irritated, and it's just, I don't know what's going on. Like, the goodwill is starting to run out. I'm already upset that they constantly do triple threat matches every week. Now they're apparently doing fatal 4-way matches for the King of the Ring, which is like, how many multi-man matches are we going to have? We've seen triple threats literally every week, and it's starting to get annoying and repetitive to me. And now I have to deal with the fact that my boy LA Knight is once again getting pushed to the side for whatever reason, because he was useful when y'all main eventers was doing part-time and weren't available. But now that they're back, oh, thanks, LA Knight, we're just going to move you over. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride, right? TikTok. All right, let's get to the main event, which was, I'm not going to lie, it took me a while to get into it because I was still angry about the LA Knight thing. Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso versus John Cena and Logan Paul. See, now I'm mad. Now I'm mad. And the video's nowhere near over yet. This tag team match, like, it was hard for me to get into it at first because I was very angry about the LA Knight thing, and I was really upset to the point where I didn't even care about this match anymore. It kind of ruined it, put a sour taste. Uh, but anyway, let's just get to it. So at the beginning of the match, basically, it was all Cena and Logan. They were dominating, and then they had a point in the match where their well-oiled machine was starting to dry up a bit, where Cena and Logan had a disagreement, and Jay was able to get the tag to Cody. And then Cody did he did a comeback, and there was a part of the match where Logan went for a buckshot lariat, and he, like, I don't know if that was an accident or was that meant to happen. I don't know, but Jay hits a super kick to take out Logan, and another high point in the match, Logan hits a pulverizer, and instead of going for the pin, he decides, you know what, I'm gonna try to make a viral moment. He goes to the top rope, and then his drone comes to him, and I believe he was going for a frog splash with the drone in his hand, but Cody pops up and hits a superplex, which was a very cool shot. And then we didn't get to see Jey Uso hit a splash. They kind of kept the camera on the drone for some reason. So then later on in the match, when things were breaking down, Logan Paul hit a amazing moonsault on Jey Uso onto a table, which was very viral. So props to Mr. Paul on that one. He moonsaulted Jey Uso through the table. The fans finally got their table. They chanted it all freaking night. We want tables. It's like, okay, whatever. And then Cena hit Cody Rhodes with the title, and then a masked man came into the ring, and I thought, oh no, Retribution has made their return to WWE. I'm just kidding. A masked man came in, spears Cena, starts punching him, and then the man grabs the title, and then slowly removed his mask. And ladies and gentlemen, Ron Killings made his return to WWE. See that ice on your wrist? That's legit, eh? Make it flip, watch me work. That's a song he made, I recommend it. So it was R-Truth who woke us back up. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, even though I was still heated about LA Knight, seeing R-Truth made me happy. The We Want Truth chants weren't ignored, so I'll give him credit for that one, but that doesn't negate the fact that LA Knight lost. And I will forever not be happy with that. So after R-Truth dropped Cena, Cody Rhodes hit the crossroads on Cena and was able to pick up the win. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Money in the Bank. A lot of storytelling, great storytelling through the night, but at the same time, the LA Knight thing kind of ruined the show for me, where he lost, and that's just that's just how I feel. So with that being said, let me know what y'all thought of the show down below in the comments. Please like and subscribe. Are you satisfied with it? Are you half and half, or did you hate it overall? Like I said, please check out the cartoon channel, Taylor Toons Official, on YouTube. Go check out the WWE skits, the other skits I have, the original series, the premiere of my new cartoon, The Adventures of Travis and Lola, pilot, and share whatever videos, share it all. Just throw me everywhere. I don't care. With that being said, E-Squad, y'all have a good Sunday, and I'll see you next time.